All right, now Tiger Brands has temporarily closed its Durban bakery after some of its employees tested positive for COVID-19. The company posted their statement on Twitter confirming the temporary closure of their bakery as a precautionary measure after some of the staff tested positive for the virus. To tell us a little bit more, we're now joined to the line by Mary Jane Morifi, who's the Chief Corporate Affairs Officer at Tiger Brands. Thanks so much indeed for joining us. Tell us a little bit more about why you took this step to shut down the bakery in Durban.
Thank you, Peter. We informed the public yesterday on the 15th of April that we were going to temporarily close our bakery facility in Durban. And the reason was that some of our employees had tested positive for COVID-19, and we were following the protocols as set in terms of once employees test positive, they go into self-isolation. We close the facility for a deep cleaning, a decontamination, and the sanitization of the facility.
Can you tell us how many employees have tested positive so far?
There's a total of 12 employees that have tested positive, but for now we are very pleased that they are in self-isolation and none of them have been hospitalized yet.
And what does that mean about the rest of your staff complement, and how many are there?
The bakery employs a total of about 386 employees. It's important to note that all the employees that tested positive do not work on the factory floor in the production area. They worked in the administration block where they process the sales and the cash receipts and so forth.
All right, so that means that the food could not have been compromised in any way. So why shut the bakery?
Well, we shut in the bakery because the protocol said that we need to deep clean the facility and sanitize the facility for health and safety measures. I need to remind listeners that and viewers that the COVID-19 virus is not a foodborne pathogen. It is transmitted person to person through saliva drops.
All right, and what support are you offering your employees at this stage?
We have a Tiger Brands employee wellbeing program called Thrive, which we are doing through a service provider called ICAS. And all the employees and the members of their families have been provided with counseling and will continue to be provided with any medical support and assistance they may require going forward.
All right, and the tracking and tracing, I guess, of the 12 people that have exposed themselves to other people, you assisting the Department of Health? Is this part of what you're doing in terms of assistance?
The Department of Health was actually on site today to support us with testing of the other members of the staff that had not been tested. We had traced those that had come into close contact with the initial patients and also extended the testing to the 42 individuals who worked in that administration block. Now today we were doing the rest of the other staff members who are working on site. So there's been great support from the Department of Health to us through this process, and we are very grateful for the support that they have provided.
When do you think you'll likely resume operations there?
We are likely to resume operations either at the back end of the weekend or early next week once the decontamination and the sanitization has been completed.
All right, I'm sure many lessons learned. You have operations across the country. What does that mean for your whole business? Is there new protocols that are coming into play?
In anticipation, when COVID-19 arrived in South Africa, we had instituted these health and safety protocols. Our employees were provided with safety masks and with sanitizers, and during the lockdown period, all of the employees at the facilities, and we have 36 sites that are currently operating as essential service sites. All of the employees at those sites where we arranged special transport to get them to and from work, and the transportation was sanitized on a daily basis. So we had put in place the protocols which are applicable to all of the sites that are currently operating as essential service sites.
And was it the same at your Durban operation? Because what it does then suggest that maybe that it's not quite enough.
Well, the fact that we had put in the protocols where employees are tested as they come into the facility every morning to check, kind of initial monitoring of temperature, whether there are any heightened or minor temperature rises. And once we find that, we send them for further investigation with the occupational health nurse. And if there's a need for them to go and seek further medical attention and do the COVID-19 test, we send them through for that. And through this process, we were able to pick up the initial employee that tested positive for COVID-19.
All right, so this is patient one, and I suppose was the one that spread it to colleagues in the same office?
Well, the fact that they were the first to test positive, we don't know whether that actually confirms that they were patient one.
All right. Okay, and how much in terms of production, how many loaves of bread are coming out from this bakery? Because I would imagine a lot of people in the area are looking forward to this bread, and this disruption, is that going to affect deliveries?
The bakery produces on average about 100,000 loaves of bread, and we have made provision to supply the KwaZulu-Natal market from our other bakeries in KZN and in the neighboring areas.
All right. Mary Jane Murifi, thanks so much indeed for your time, and let's hope that everything works out for you and your workers in due course. Thank you so much.
Thank you.